Big Crazy John here with Big Crazy Outdoor Adventures. I am doing a first aid kit review today. It's a new first aid kit, Surviveware. And there's a few things I got to share with you about this. This is a sponsored video. The Surviveware contacted me and asked if I would do a review of their kit. I gave them a few caveats that, I'm going to be honest. And I also wanted to do this to the benefit of my subscribers, my viewers, and they are being, I think, very helpful. And the good news is, I looked at this kit online and checked it out because I get contacted to do reviews for products. Some of them are just, they just look like cheap junk, and this looked like a pretty good product. And so what I can see so far, I think it's a good one. It's a keeper. It is on Amazon and on the surviveware.com website. Last I checked, I think it was $34. I did another review of another kit, a Venture Medical Kit, 0.9. I'll have it linked on this video, but it was $30. So I think we're gonna have a little bit of a comparison to kind of compare the two, what you should get, what do you get for your money. And from what I can see so far, just a quick review, this is a better kit. And I'll explain that in more detail coming up. But from, the few things I got to share with you about this. So there's the honesty aspect. This is sponsored. They did give this to me. I did not buy it. But the good news is I got an extra one. So I'm going to give one away. And I will have another video I'm going to do for the giveaway. And because I think there's going to be some other stuff I'm going to give away with it. Because there might be like first place, the kit, and then there might be some additional stuff that, second place, third place kind of thing. But we're going to see. I have to figure it out what's the best way to do a giveaway, because I know there's YouTube rules and guidelines and so forth, but obviously people do giveaways and don't have problems. So just want to do it best, and I like to look into things, research it, and see what my options are. So the other thing I wanted to talk about with this is if you guys can do me a favor and go to surviveware.com's website, my video is going to be posted on there. If you could vote on it and help me get enough votes to win, I would really appreciate that. They are having a giveaway for YouTube channels that do reviews of their first aid kit, and it's for the month of October. And whoever gets the most gets a $500 cash. So I would really appreciate some votes. So there's that. I give to you guys, you give back. It's good for everyone. One last thing. So there's gonna be a 10% discount code. Working with them to work out what the code is. So I don't have that for you right now, but I think by the time I post this video, we'll have that worked out, and it will be in the description. So go check out the description. I'll have it in the description and probably in the comments for the link to the video to go vote on it, as well as to get your 10% off discount code. So we're gonna take it inside. It's about to rain, which is a bummer because I do enjoy being outside. But this is gonna be best to review on the table and go through a few things as far as, I think there's a first aid kit for every kind of scenario. This might not be the kit. And actually Surviveware sells other kits. They have bigger kits. And you might want something smaller too. So I think everyone has different needs. Like I have a blood disorder, so I have to take Warfarin or Coumadin, which is it's a blood thinner. And I like to have, things to help clot blood. So, be that clotting sponges, and I'll show you that inside, and gauze and things of that nature. So some people don't need that. So some people have allergies. They want allergy medicine. Some people don't need that. So again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not in the medical fields. I, however, do go outdoors and have enjoyed a lot of time outdoors and have kind of gone through a lot of different medical kits, and I want to share some of that with you guys and see what I like and what I don't like. And so far I'm liking this kit. So when you need it, I've carried around kits, med kits, haven't needed them, never opened them. They expire, But the thing is, that moment when you do need it, it's going to be nice to have. It's really, it comes down to a level of comfort. How comfortable do you want to be? How comfortable do you want to be? To where if you have an injury or something you need to care for, you know, you need to be prepared. So it's not if, but when, as Creek Stewart says. So I think that's everything I want to cover out here. So let's take it inside, open up the package, check out what's inside, and give it a review. Okay, so talking about this first aid kit, and want to kind of give some perspective with this kit compared to situations as well as other kits. This is a kit, you know, I've mentioned in a previous video some of these kits before, but this is a kit we take camping. This is a kit I've had in the truck, and this was a kit I made for our Rocky Mountain day hiking. And I normally always carry one of these Quick Clot sport packs. This is a kit I just reviewed, and this is just, you know, this is not waterproof. It's one thing I'm moving to waterproof kits because I've had issues with that. This is a waterproof kit, and it's kind of a Quick Clot. It's more of a, I would probably put this more in the boat of trauma kind of kit. So, and then we have a big first aid kit that I have kind of for the house. And there's, you know, I have different bags, and every bag I have different size kits. So, you know, the bag I keep in the truck, it's got a more substantial kit. The day hiking kit, you know, I'm probably gonna have something like this or something like this, and that kind of kit. I need to have a small kit in that one, so that's probably more like something like this. And actually, this is the kit I normally carry in that bag. So those, I'm just kind of saying, you're gonna have different kits for different situations, different bags. Weight is also a consideration. You know, this bag here is like a half a pound. This bag is a pound. So, you know, if you're going light hiking, you may not want this much weight for what you're doing that day and kind of where you're at. So things to consider. And what we really want to get into is what's in the kit. So let's get into that next. So the first comment I kind of want to make about this bag is I really like bags like this. I like these Cordura kind of rough bags that can take a beating. And I love having individual bags, you know, in my bigger bags to organize stuff. So I think, you know, it's nice to have, you know, I got, like, this is an example of a bag, a little kit I put together, kind of like some tools and whatnot. And it's an easy way to keep things organized, and it's nice. You know, I got this Mac Edition bag, so I'm a big fan of bags and keeping things organized within bags. So this is the first thing I like about this. You know what makes this even better is the inside is organized. Look how it's already organized and labeled. That's awesome. So I really appreciate how they have everything labeled and organized in this. So it makes things easy to find. Start on the outside and go inside. So the first thing you'll find is this outside zipper. So there's two compartments. There's the big compartment, and then there's this outside compartment. So that they're intending for this to be personal medicines. So if you have prescriptions you take, or if there's over-the-counter stuff you want to put in here, you know, ibuprofen, aspirin, that kind of stuff, Benadryl, what, you know, antihistamines, you know, any kind of allergy medicines, whatever you need for you personally, this is a good space for that. I also think this would be a good place for things you might need access to more frequently, like maybe a little Band-Aid, stuff like that. So let's go inside. Also, before I go inside, I really like this grab handle. I also like that there's a hanging hook back here in the back, hanging loop. I also really like this because this gives you an ability, if you just want to take this pack, you can put this on a belt, you know, and lock it in. So it's got the molly straps. So like on my big bag here, if I wanted to, I could, let's show you an example of this. So you kind of feed these through. Let's put them right here. So this is an example. This is attached on here very well now. It's through the molly strap, and I like that because it gives you options. You know, maybe I don't want it on the side, maybe I put it on the front, but it gives you options in how to, you know, maybe your pack's full and you want to have this on the outside, you want to have easy access to it. There you go. I like that. Okay, so we're gonna go on the inside of this and check out everything. So let's go top left. Starting with this. So this is the hypoallergenic tape secure dressing. So the bag itself is, my understanding is not, I mean, I'm sure it's water resistant, but it's not waterproof. So really it comes down to the individual packaging that you have in here and those being what protects it to be waterproof. So this hypoallergenic adhesive. So that's some good tape. That looks like good tape. I like that. I like the plastic covering. I think that's also going to help keep it not dry, but you know, keep the water off of it. The bag is the key. So having this stuff individually sealed is the key. So we got an adhesive dressings minor wounds. So this would be your Band-Aids. This is probably what I'm gonna be in the most. I always end up getting cuts on my fingers. You know, just firewood, splinters, all kinds of, you know, it happens. So we got bandage adhesive strips. Now, these are just your run-of-the-mill Band-Aids. So to give a perspective on this kit has some pretty fancy Band-Aids. They're actually, you can put them on with one hand. So, you know, this is fine. Yeah, this is really all you need from a Band-Aid perspective. So I think this is plenty good. They're adhesive dressing and allergen free, so they're sterile. And we got a bag for them. I really like that everything is organized in this. And so rather than having to get in one big bag, you have individual bags. So it's easier to keep things organized. And that is one of the problems I have with this bag is it's a mess. I mean, if you want to find something, you got to dump the whole bag. You don't have to do that with this. And to have additional perspective here, this bag, it runs on Amazon about 30 bucks. And this bag, I believe, is $34 on Amazon. And just from a comparison, what you get compared to these two, I feel like you get more with this bag. You don't get shears with that other kit. The tweezers in this kit, way superior. Way superior. These are like legit tweezers. However, they weigh more. So, I mean, that's something to consider. The, let me try doing the hair test here. So the other pair of tweezers, I was tweezing at forever. So these, they have teeth on them. And I almost feel like that's counterproductive with the hair. Ow, yeah, those work. So the tweezers work, the hair test works. Let me do this again. So the key with pulling out hair is getting low. So these are way better. Good tweezers. Like them. The only thing I would say with these is I like tweezers with a little bit finer point. And I don't know about these teeth. I mean, that's cool, but Yeah, those are pretty good. See how they come together there? Much better than the other pair. The other pair was just like two pieces of metal just coming together. They didn't have teeth, so I mean, you're gonna grab a hold of something there better. So that's the shears, that's the tweezers, this is the splinter probes. This might be a bit much, because actually I think out of everything in here, I'm probably not using tweezers, using these safety pins. And I like that, you know, there's 4 here. So, and I like that it's easy to get to. It's labeled, it's got a home. You know, one thing with being organized, which I'm not, is everything should have a home. And if you have a home and you put it back in the home, you'll be able to find it again in the future. So this is a resuscitation mask, CPR kit, and the nice thing about this is it can live on its own. So if you just want to take this out, you could. And I also like this kit, a couple things with this. So I like that it's cloth. It has these cloth directions here, as far as giving adult CPR. And then it has baby CPR directions. That's pretty cool. It's got nitrile gloves. It's got a antiseptic towelette. It's got the, open this up. So one might think this is overkill for giving CPR, but if you think about it, you may not know that person. You may walk up to someone on the trail that's having an issue and you don't know them. So this would be a way to protect the person giving CPR, because my understanding is this nozzle only lets air flow in one direction. So person giving CPR, pushing the air in, if the person ends up vomiting or ends up getting sick or have fluid coming out of their mouth, whatever the situation might be, you're gonna be protected. So, for single use. Let's get back into this splinter probes. I mean, that's nice and tiny. I don't know, I might take one of these. That's pretty small. And it could let you get down in there. I don't know, the safety pin, I'm kind of a fan of the safety pin. Let's do a comparison. It's a little bigger. The safety pin is a little bigger. Let's do it side by side. The safety pin is bigger. So, I don't know, something to think about. All right, let's talk about these shears. Yeah, they are good. I feel like that is a close. Sometimes when you get a pair of scissors, you might notice how they don't meet up well. These do. The handles feel a little cheap, but I think that's a pretty good set. I've had nicer. I actually have a kit with a pair as kind of a series of shears. So, but these are on par with that, I would say. They're not, I mean, they're consumer grade. That's what these are. So this is where I feel like the kit kind of diverges from some of the other medical kits, because I feel like this kit, there's some aspects of this kit, it's actually more of like a survival kit too. I mean, first aid, if you're hurt, if you're, you know, maybe you hurt foot, leg, you're disabled, you can't move, you need to call for help, this whistle would do the job. That works. Okay, so we're getting into the middle of it here. So the middle of it has a tourniquet and Q-tips. So the Q-tips, not a good package. I would probably upgrade, you know, to have them in something that's got a little more watertight. This is not going to be watertight. Let's open up the tourniquet here. Let's say I'm in The Walking Dead and my hand gets bit by a zombie, and so Rick has to cut my hand off. And we gotta use this tourniquet. First, I'm probably gonna have some help doing this. But my evaluation is this tourniquet is not good. It's plastic, it's cheap. However, you can do it by yourself, which is a bonus. And that's pretty, pulling it pretty tight. And I'm not really, I mean, look, I can get my finger under there. That's not very tight. So, I don't know about that. Not sure about the tourniquet. You might want to, you know, replace the tourniquet with something else. Maybe a little more beefy. So, we're going to go over this right side. We got pressure bandage, wound, sprain, snake bites. So we got a pressure bandage, conforming bandage. So this would be for a sprain. This would be for a wound. And there's also this card. Know your first aid kit. So you can get a picture here of everything that's in the kit. So the bag is 600D polyester bag. It's interesting, it says snake bites here. I'm not seeing anything that kind of fits with that, so it's a little confusing. Skin cleaning wipes. That is in its own bag, so that's called sting relief. Definitely need that. There's a Hornet Yellow Jacket story along with that. Maybe you could share that story. Cotton gauze, swab, iPad, so that's cool. The wound closures, that's what that was. And a triangular bandage and emergency blanket. So, you know, this isn't necessarily for a wound, it's actually non-sterile, but you can use this to kind of make a makeshift tourniquet. Number of things you can do with this. It's a large pad, so number of uses with that. Emergency blanket, and again, this is kind of where I like this kit because it's not only, it kind of takes it a step further from like first aid to like kind of like survival type situation. Takes it a step further, so it's more inclusive. And this has a good weight to it. It feels like a pretty good blanket. You know, if I were to tell them to, one thing I would say with this would be this stuff, these big wraps should be in the back because it's kind of covering up the labels. I think that would be, if you redo the bag at some point in the future, put these large wraps and bandages in the back. That's my 2 cents. But still, everything's labeled. Everything has a home. It makes sense. I'm a fan of that. I've never seen a kit this organized. I've made kits before, med kits, and it just ends up being kind of a mess of everything in a big Ziploc bag, and I don't like that. I'm a big fan of how organized this is. So that's the kit. Everything's inside. Hope this was helpful to give you a perspective on what's in this kit. You know, this may not be the kit for you, but I'm a fan of it, and I'm probably gonna go buy their bigger, the family kit they have. It's like $100 kit. I like how this one's organized, and the big kit I have is not organized. So I like having places for things. You know, one other thing, you know, with this kit, the size that it is and the space that you have, I also like that from a flexibility perspective, because I'm gonna probably throw in one of these quick clot bandages, these sponges. And I mentioned this in the other video, but you know, and they have gauze in here and things to care for that. So I think that's good, but I just like to have one extra thing. I've never had to use one of these, but I like to be prepared if I do, because I'm on Coumadin and that is a blood thinner. So I have a tendency to bleed more than the normal person on the blood thinner because I have a blood disorder. So, so this is important to me. And again, that kind of goes back to every kit needs to be for you and the needs that you or your family have. You know, if someone has asthma, if someone has a need for an EpiPen, put that stuff in here. So keep that in mind, make the kit for you. I think this one's great because, again, I keep saying this over and over, you can organize it and keep things, you know, in their own home. So, all right, so I know weight is a lot of concern for backpackers, hikers, a lot of folks. So I want to check the weight on this. I think I saw there was 1.08 pounds, 1 pound and 1.14 ounces. So basically like 17.14 ounces. And there's grams for you, 486 grams. So please go check out Surviveware. I'm gonna have the 10% coupon. Check out the surviveware.com. Please vote for this video. I would really appreciate it. And stay tuned for, I'm gonna have a giveaway for this other kit that I got that I did not open. This one's mine, but the second kit, I'm gonna be giving it away. So stay tuned for that, and there you go. I hope the review was helpful. Remember, get outside and have some fun, and when you're doing it, be safe. And thanks for watching.